Hey guys, it's Cameroon and welcome back to another video. Now it's finally time to do the last pick'ems video of the year, or potentially ever, if the Overwatch League doesn't continue next year. Why? Because we are going into the playoffs and grand finals. After this, there won't be anything else. Now, I usually upload these videos a day before the Overwatch League streams start, but there's something special about these pick'ems, and that's if you submit your playoff brackets before September 28th, you can get the Overwatch League home and away skins for Symmetra. I wanted to get this video earlier so more people know about it and can get it before it's gone. I've made a video covering pick'ems a little while ago, but to quickly recap it, just head over to the pick'ems website. It'll be displayed on the screen and in the description. You'll then need to log into your battle.net account. If you've never logged in before, it'll have a first time setup where it'll ask you basic stuff like what's your username, etc. Once you've done that, you can then begin submitting your pick'ems. Now this video does go over my predictions, so if you actually want some sort of bracket to follow, you can use mine. And if you're still confused about setting up pick'ems, you can check out the video on the screen right now that covers it. Anyways, if you don't know what this video is about or haven't watched any of my other pick'ems videos, I basically go over the current Overwatch League week and give my predictions with a little bit of explaining to why I made them. Like I said before, this week will be the last pick'ems video for maybe ever if the Overwatch League doesn't continue, and we've got one last time of pick'ems to crown the Overwatch League 2023 champions. Now, if you don't have a lot of time to listen to me explain everything, just like every other prediction video, I'll have a chapter where you can skip ahead to see my pick'ems. If you end up doing that, maybe just leave a like on the video, and if you want more, subscribing is always a nice way to let me know. Be sure to check out this video on the screen right now if you don't know about the Overwatch League playoff rewards. There's a bunch of free stuff you can get just from watching the Overwatch League playoffs, and this video will get you set up for it. But now, let's dive right into this confusing playoffs bracket. Like, they could have just did a double elimination and put the top seed versus the low seed, you know, like first versus eighth and second versus seventh, and so on. You'll see what I mean once we get into this bracket. Okay, so here is the perfect bracket on the pick'ems website, and I'll explain quickly how this bracket works. Essentially, you have the west side, even though that's not really what it is, because they were able to pick teams. So you have Hangzhou Spark on the west side, and then you also have Houston and Florida on the east side. Basically, it's two double elimination brackets on top of each other. So you have one for the east and one for the west. And then once those brackets are done, we move on to the grand finals, which then has two matches here, which will determine who goes and plays in the grand finals. Makes sense, right? There's also a match for third place, but they don't have that in the brackets, I guess. Anyways, let's just get right into this perfect bracket. So the first match we have is Hangzhou Spark versus the Atlanta Reign. Now, we all know this. Atlanta Reign is probably going to win this against the Spark. I don't know how the meta is going to be. I heard the Zarya is going to be quite strong in it, and there's probably going to be Genji, because with Zarya, bubble on Genji is really good. I don't know how strong Donghack will be on Zarya, but I do know that Stalker is a great Genji. I'm going to say that Atlanta Reign wins this 3-1. Then moving on, in the West Winners round, we have Boston Uprising versus the London Spitfire. I think this is going to be a banger of a match again. I do think that Boston Uprising is going to win this. I just think that overall they have the better pieces. However, Reinhardt does play quite well into Zarya, but there's going to be way too many other factors like the Genji. We all know that Decay can carry. That's pretty much it, right? But I still think that this game's going to go the distance, and Boston Uprising will win 3-2. So for the West losers, we have Hangzhou Spark versus the London Spitfire. I want London Spitfire to succeed, but this battle of this Rhine Rush versus whatever Spark's going to use. Like, is Spark going to use the meta? Are they going to try to do something to counteract London Spitfire's composition? It's very hard to figure this out. Spark have Shy and Leave. These are incredible players, and if they just have any pop-off moments and they just take over a game, I think that they can do it. I think both of them are capable of it. I'm going to say that Hangzhou Spark wins it 3-2. This is a hard one. It could go either way. I'd love to see London Spitfire succeed. They might get overwhelmed and London can win. So if you want to go with London 3-2, honestly, I wouldn't blame you. Now we'll move back up to the West winners, and we have the Atlanta Reign versus Boston Uprising. Atlanta is the better team from what we can tell. I'm just going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say Atlanta Reign wins 3-1. And then finally, we have the Hangzhou Spark versus the Boston Uprising. I don't think Hangzhou Spark's going to beat the Boston Uprising. I do think that the West is stronger than the East. And for that reason, I'm going to say it is 3-1 against the Hangzhou Spark. So now that we have the West bracket done, we'll move down to the East bracket. So we have the Dallas Fuel versus the Seoul Infernal. Seoul isn't playing that well. They're not going to be able to play the previous meta. Dallas Fuel has been climbing, and if it is a Zarya meta, Hanbin on Zarya is kind of cracked. And for that reason, I think Dallas Fuel is going to win 3-1. And then we have Houston Outlaws versus the Florida Mayhem. I'm sorry, Outlaws, but I think Florida Mayhem has what it takes to make it the full distance. And for that reason, I'm just going to say 3-2 Florida Mayhem. Moving down, we have Seoul Infernal versus the Houston Outlaws. I think Houston's going to win this 3-1. Like I've said before, I do think that the West teams are stronger than the East teams, especially the top 4 West teams. And you'll see what I mean. Then moving up to the East winners, we have Dallas Fuel versus the Florida Mayhem. That's a cool matchup, not gonna lie. but I'm sorry, Dallas Fuel. I think Mayhem's going to take it 3-1. And then finally, we have the Houston Outlaws versus the Dallas Fuel. Same thing applies. Houston Outlaws, I just think, are the stronger team. Fearless will find a way to play Zarya if he has to, or he'll just play Winston. I'm just going to say 3-1 Houston Outlaws. So the next match we have is Atlanta Reign versus the Houston Outlaws. We have to remember, Houston did beat Atlanta Reign as well. But with this new meta, maybe even Hawk plays instead of Donghack. Who knows? I do think that Atlanta Reign has the upper hand. Atlanta Reign's pretty much the favorite to win it all. I'm going to say it's going to be a close match, though. I'm going to give Houston Outlaws the benefit of the doubt. I'm thinking this one's going to be just a crazy 5-mapper, and it's going to be a great time to watch. And then moving on to the next match, we have Florida Mayhem versus Boston Uprising. I don't think Boston Uprising is going to make this as competitive as people think, just because I think Florida Mayhem has all the pieces. They have everybody that they need to pop off. They've got someone on tank. Someone can play like any tank in the whole game, I swear. Checkmate's just crazy. He's so good. Choron, they're all so good. Like, Merit, like, they're all incredible. RuPaul has been playing the most insane support ever, too. And how could I forget their most recent signing of Who Are You, the Genji God? And if Zarya is going to be meta, you're going to want that Genji, and you're going to have Who Are You as the Genji? Florida has this. I don't even have to keep explaining. I'm going to say 3-1 for Florida Mayhem. And then finally, we have the grand finals. Remember, this goes to a best 4 out of 7, and it is the Atlanta Reign versus the Florida Mayhem. Now, it's tradition. We always want the grand finals to go the complete distance. It's going to be a map 7 with Atlanta Reign and Florida Mayhem 3-3. And who do I have winning? The Florida Mayhem. That's right. I'm going to go with the team that has just been creeping their way up. They've beat Atlanta Reign. They have the momentum. I think Florida's already in Atlanta Reign's head with the fact that they threw Florida Mayhem all the way down to the East bracket. Florida's going to have the power. They're going to have the umph. I think someone will be able to tank diff both Donghack and Hawk. It's going to be a crazy match regardless. I just think that this is going to be maybe one of the best. I don't know. Who knows if it will beat San Francisco Shock versus Dallas Fuel of last year's grand finals, because that grand finals was insane. But I have Florida Mayhem being your Overwatch League 2023 champions. And here is my Overwatch playoff and grand finals bracket. I feel like I may be a little hopeful for all these games not being 3 Overwatch, but that's the point of these brackets. It's to take risks in hopes that the playoffs and the finals are absolute masterpieces. I know that the Atlanta Reign are the favorites to win it all, but there's just something about Florida that I just can't ignore. Now, I do want to address the fact that this may be the last time an Overwatch League season happens. So whether it's completely shut down or it gets revamped, I just want to say thank you to the Overwatch League for all of the matches, the cringy watch points, and just everything else. I know there was definitely some problems with how Overwatch League was operated and such, but I just really loved everything about it. Hopefully whatever they plan on doing with Overwatch esports after this year, I just hope it's good. And of course, thank you all for watching these pick'em videos over the last few months. I wanted some consistent series I could do, and seeing comments that are asking about the next pick'em video is just really cool. It let me know that this video series was very much a success. So I really do appreciate all of your support on these videos. Thank you so much. But I still have to close this video out, so remember, the Overwatch League playoff streams start on Thursday, September 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, or 6 p.m. UK Time. So be sure to submit your pick'ems before those times so you don't miss out on the Symmetra Overwatch League skins and, of course, a chance at a perfect bracket. Anyways, if you liked the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. And yeah, enjoy watching the Overwatch League playoffs. I will talk to you all soon.